Hey there guys, welcome to the next tutorial here on the Duct Tape Stuff channel, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a duct tape quad fold wallet. Been a pretty popular request, so I'm going to show you how to make that in this tutorial. And without any further ado, let's get started on making a quad fold wallet. Alright, I'm assuming that most of you out there can probably figure out how to make a quad fold wallet because it's really just one more fold more than a tri-fold, and it pretty much works exactly the same way. But I'm going to show you how to make it, and I'm going to give you the exact measurements if you want to make one. The first thing you're going to do is cut out a whole bunch of strips. You're actually going to cut out 8 of them total, and we're going to be doing these 4 first. I'll show you how to put those together, and they're going to be about roughly a foot long. I found out that's a pretty good length for making the quad fold wallet. The quad fold. I keep messing that up. If you say it really fast, it sounds like quaffled wallet. Anyway, so we're going to stick our first 2 strips that are a foot long together, just like that. And then what you want to do is you want to take your third one, and you're going to line up your top strip here. I'm probably going to line up on a ruler or something along those lines so you have an idea of how long it should be. You're going to apply your second strip so that it's about 3 3/4 inches long on the sides. So if we lined it up, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, and right about there, you're just gonna be able to overlap by just a little bit, but if you do it right, it'll stick, and it shouldn't have you shouldn't have too many problems just peeling it right up like this. So just nice and carefully so it doesn't come unstuck. So we have one more strip here, so it'll be our 4th one, and that'll be making our first section of the wallet. So stick it down just like that. And now what we're going to do is cut out 4 more strips. I have my first one here already, so I need to cut out 3 more and make an exact duplicate of this sheet right here. So do that step now. Alright, so here's what it looks like. Have you gotten your second strip here, and do any trimming if you need to with your pair of scissors just to make sure they are exactly the same. And I've used a grand total of 8 strips here, so we have 4 12-inch strips here and 4 12-inch strips right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set them on top of each other just like this, make sure they're all lined up. And we're just going to pre-crease it here, and basically since it's exactly 12 feet long, or at least it should be if you did your measurements correctly, you're going to crease every 3 inches. So it would definitely help to have a ruler here and just make sure that you crease it just where you have it. If you have a cutting mat, it'll be able to work even better because you'll be able to line it up a lot easier. But you definitely want to crease it so that you know that the ends are 3 inches in, and then the center should be right in the center there. And you'll come up before that line, probably just a little bit before, so you can fold a little bit easier. Then you're just going to fold the entire thing just like this. Now at this point you really shouldn't see too many warp lines or anything. That's not looking too bad at all right there. So if it's all bunched up and kind of like crumpling, then you definitely want to refold it and recrease it just a little bit, and then that'll hopefully do away with most of those when we do seal the entire thing up. Because anything that's wrong with it now will just be multiplied and compounded when we do eventually seal it all up. It'll just make it a whole lot worse. So you just want to make sure that it is pretty well creased. You know exactly where those creases are, and then we will be sealing up the bottom part here and the sides, and that will make the billfold part of the wallet. So here comes the interesting part of attaching the bottom. Now I specifically don't use a giant strip here on the bottom and then just fold it underneath, because the chances of it getting more warp lines and creases are just pretty much multiplied when you do that. So what I actually do is I cut out a whole bunch of strips that are 3 inches long. Remember, this is 12 inches, so you're going to need 4 3-inch strips, and I actually attach each of these sections separately. Now the benefit that this has is that when you do attach each section by itself, it allows the tape to crease a lot better because it has that little gap there. There's no tape that's, you know, holding it together right there. I mean, it's holding it up together so that nothing will fall out, of course, but it's definitely not giving as much restriction as it normally would if you use one giant strip on the bottom here. So that's one 3-inch strip right there. I'll take another 3-inch strip and then just wrap it around. You might, if it's stuck on the sides here, you might get a little bit of a warp, but we're going to fix that just by unsticking it. Once you have the 2 center ones, you should be able to work on the sides fairly easily. Probably do the center ones first, and then you can work on the sides, because the sides are exactly where you want the wallet to end up rather than the middle. So pretty much just take 2 more 3-inch strips, just fold it, crease it, make sure that it still works. It's looking pretty good. And then you're just going to attach these 2 on each side, then wrap it around. That will attach the bottom part of the wallet. So once you've done the whole bottom here, it should be attached. You can flip it up, you know, back and forth, just like a giant flap of tape. And then basically we're just going to attach the sides. Really simple. I just took a strip of tape that was 3 3/4 inches long, which is the height of these sides over here. And I'm using just a little bit of tape because generally you want these to flex a little bit and also save on tape just a little bit. Not that I really need to save on tape, but you know, it's always nice to save a few bucks here and there. So just want to make sure that it's nice and sealed up. You know, just make sure that this is stuck down over here. About half of it on each side. Now just give it a little bit of sturdiness, and it won't come apart at all. You can always reinforce it if you want, and do a little trimming here on the bottom. And there we go. So there we have the billfold part of our quad fold wallet. And I'm assuming that by now most of you guys know how to put credit card holders in your wallet, but if you don't, I'm going to show you just how to do that briefly. Just the same exact thing you would do on any other wallet. You're going to use exactly the same kinds of card holders, and I did make it wide enough and high enough so that you can put credit card holders in it vertically like this. So you just take 2 strips of tape that are 3.5 inches long. Nothing new here on the channel, so if you watched this before, you can probably skip this part and you know how to make, you know, your quad fold wallet. But you take your third 3.5 inch strip, stick about half of it on here. Then what we're going to do is take two small pieces of tape, and we're going to stick it up here and a little bit on the surface that you're working on, because that's eventually going to be stuck to the wallet itself. So that should look just like that. And then what we're going to do is, if I want it, say right about there, it should just fit if you measured the wallet correctly. And a little bit of an overlap there, but that's okay. Bottom one here, we can just wrap around the bottom. Obviously the top, we don't want it to wrap over the billfold, so we're going to have to tuck it into the billfold, just like this. That'll give it a nice little rounded edge right there. And there you have your first credit card holder. If you want to do another one, you just do that one on top of it, and then another one, and you can put all kinds of ID holders in here. You do have a lot of room to work with because you have 4 pieces instead of just the 3 on a trifold wallet, and or just 2 on a bifold wallet. So you have a lot of room to put a lot of cool stuff in it, like coin pouches, ID holders, credit card holders. I've got a whole bunch of tutorials up on how to do stuff like that, so definitely check those out if you want to put something cool into your quad fold wallet. But that's how to make a quad fold wallet, so enjoy it and just have a lot of fun making one. I'll catch you guys next time on the channel. Take care.